Hey, so I'm back here in South Florida getting ready for my next art show, which is this weekend in Juno Beach. I'll be at the Juno Beach Craft Fest by the ocean. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in a long time because I haven't done a show in about 2 months. In that time, I have been immensely busy. It was not a break at all for me. I went to Europe for a couple weeks to shoot some new work that's going to be coming out in the next year. And in that time, I finished what was probably the biggest project of my art career in probably maybe ever, and I'm going to tell you about that a little bit later because I think it's something that is going to be super interesting and useful for everyone watching. But right now, I'm going to get down to the show a little bit early because I'm having some trouble with the side door on my van. It's not opening at all, no matter what I do. And I feel like maybe I accidentally jammed something in there when I closed it last. So hopefully when I empty some stuff out of the back, I can crawl in and open it from the inside. But fingers crossed that works. Let's get up to Juno Beach. Okay, the real test. Hopefully it magically unstuck itself while I was driving. All right, maybe my cart got jammed in there. I don't know what happened, but thank goodness it opened. I had visions of having to crawl through the back and try and open it from the inside, and then maybe even having to cancel the show if I couldn't get it open because I wouldn't be able to get any of my bins out. Every time I have a big break from art shows like this, I always think that I forgot how to do art shows during that time, or maybe the art market got really bad in that time and no one told me about it or anything. And every time I'm wrong, but it doesn't stop me from having that feeling. I wonder if any of you guys get that feeling. I love being able to set up for the show the day before the show, which seems to be a more and more rare thing, especially at shows here in Florida. But what I love even more than setting up the day before a show is going home, having a nice meal, and sleeping in my own bed before a show. Because in-person art shows are my main source of income, taking a big break from shows like that takes a bit of planning financially to make sure that I'm able to sustain myself through those months of not having in-person art shows. And a big part of that and long-term success as an artist is having a website, and a really great website on that. And that's what I've spent the last few months building for myself. I had a website before, and it was a pretty good website. It had all the information there. If you had seen me at an art festival and you knew exactly what you wanted, you could go there, find what you want, and buy it, no problem. However, it didn't do a really great job of explaining too much or selling much to a person who had never seen my work before, or someone who maybe has seen my work before but still had some questions about it and wasn't sure exactly what they wanted. So my goal in designing this new website was really to, first of all, have a very visually appealing website, have a website that works really good on a mobile phone, because my last website worked on a mobile phone, but it wasn't the prettiest. So I wanted a website that was really comprehensive, visually appealing, easy to navigate, could answer all your questions right there, and made it really easy to purchase my work, whether you had seen it or not. I'd love it if you guys checked out my website. I'll put the link in the description. Look at it, give me some feedback on it, be critical. I want it to be a really great resource for my collectors. My old website was built on a platform called BigCommerce, and it was good, but behind the scenes it was kind of clunky and not the easiest to use. And when I decided to make this new website, I looked at all the big website platforms out there, and I settled on using Shopify. And this is not an ad for Shopify, this is not sponsored by Shopify. I paid full price for my website and everything I used to design it. And I have no real website building experience. I did some coding back in high school, but that was like 25 years ago, and none of it is relevant anymore. And that's the great thing, using Shopify, you don't have to know any coding at all. They make it so easy. So even if you're not that experienced in any kind of website building, you can build a really great website using Shopify, no problem. And like I said, this isn't sponsored by them or anything, but they did give me a link that you can use that I'll put in the description. If you're interested in trying Shopify, it'll give you a free trial, and then if you decide to keep it, you get 3 months for $1 a month. So you really can't beat that. So if you're interested in building a website or building a better website or a more appealing website, I would definitely check out Shopify. You have nothing to lose. Even if you're not planning to sell through your website, having a website as an artist is incredibly important because it can tell your collectors when you'll be at certain shows, It'll give them information about you and your background, and it's such a big part of an art business that I see a lot of art festival artists neglecting. Look who's here with me. He hasn't been in the videos for a while, but Milo came down to the art show. Milo came down on Sunday because yesterday Milo was doing something really cool, and I'm not saying this for accolades, but to give other people ideas, because my wife Katie, who is also here, got this idea from the internet. Katie and Milo put together birthday packs to bring down to the food bank. So you put a box of cake mix and then a can of Sprite and some frosting and candles into a bag with an aluminum pan. And this way they don't need to buy any eggs or oil or anything. You can use the can of Sprite to add to the cake mix, and that works as a leavening agent and helps the cake rise. So that's what they were busy doing yesterday. I'll put some information in the description of the video about how they made these and what you need to do to put them together in case you're interested in putting some together, so that kids who are less fortunate could have birthday celebrations, because that's something that food banks don't get a lot of. Did you like putting together the birthday packs?
Yeah. And I went to the traffic park.
And they just came from the traffic park. Milo just learned how to ride his balance bike. So it's the end of the day on Sunday. I just rushed through breaking down my booth and have to go get my van and load up because I have a potential big sale, but I have to be there at these people's home by 6 o'clock, and they're about 15 minutes away from the art show, so hopefully I'll still make it and they buy the piece. But if not, it was a good show anyway. I have a super busy week in front of me because in just a couple days I'm going to beautiful Hong Kong to photograph some new work that I'm planning to come out with early next year. Specifically, this building behind me. This is the Choi Hung Estates here in Hong Kong. Choi Hung in Cantonese means rainbow. If you haven't been able to tell from my work, I love vibrant, beautiful colors, especially vibrant, unique colored buildings. So when I saw this place for the first time just a year ago, I just knew I could take a really excellent photograph of this place from a unique perspective. Maybe a little crazy to travel all the way to China to photograph a public housing project like this, but the building is due to be demolished soon, so I wanted to make sure that I got here to take my photograph before the building's gone. And what a lovely excuse to come here to Hong Kong. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. I would really appreciate it if you do that. It really helps me out. And in case you were wondering, I did make it to that appointment by 6 o'clock, and the people bought the photographs. So the Juno Beach Craft Festival by the Ocean turned out to be a really great show for me. I'll see you in the next one.